everybody, my name is Zane Delgadillo and I'm here to tell you about my top 5 bass fishing lures. At number 1 is the plastic worm. I love the plastic worm because it's so versatile. It comes in so many different shapes, sizes, and colors, and different color combinations. There's different tails on certain plastic worms. Usually I like to Texas rig a plastic worm, and I've caught my personal best off of Texas rig plastic worm. So I swear by them. You can also drop shot rig them. For worms such as a Senko, I usually use a wacky rig, which I've seen great results with that as well. Yeah, I really like plastic worms. That's definitely my go-to in everyday bass fishing. Up second is none other than the spinnerbait. I love spinnerbaits because it helps me locate the fish. Usually the bass see the blade on the spinnerbait and it resembles a shad or a minnow. And have had some aggressive strikes on spinnerbaits. I've caught some good fish off of them. I like using them, like I said, because it helps me locate the fish, find out where they're spawning, where they're at in the pond, lake, or wherever I'm at. Up third is the swim bait. I love swim baits because they're very good, especially ones that resemble a shad. I've had great results with those. My personal favorite is the Zoom Super Fluke. I usually just Texas rig it and use a bullet weight, or I even fish it weightless sometimes, almost as a topwater. Another one that might be overlooked is the Storm Shad. I've had some great results with the Storm Shad. I really like fishing those as well, and that's the number 3. So, number 4 on this list is the crankbait. I love crankbaits because there's different depths that you can fish them depending on what crankbait you have. There's topwater crankbaits. You have your 2 to 4 footers, your deep water cranks. No matter what the depths are, it depends on what body of water you're fishing, what depths you're trying to fish. Also, when it comes to design, it's very big as well. You got your ones that resemble a bluegill, red ears, shad, crawfish, just depending on what your preference is and what's in the bodies of water that you're fishing. Let's see here. For a pond, I would usually use maybe a bluegill kind of lure, bluegill crankbait. I've had some great results with those. Last but not least is the topwater lure. My favorite topwater lure to fish is the frog. My favorite kind of frog to use are the booyah frogs. I love these frogs. Had great results with them. I have used the Lunker Hut frogs. They're a little pricey. I just haven't really had great luck with them. I may give them a try again, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. The ribbit frog, on the other hand, I love the ribbit frogs as well. They're more of a softer bait that you can Texas rig is what I do with them. Fish them off the top of the water, and I've had some really big fish off of those as well. Ribbit frogs are really good. And runner-ups for topwater lures, since I said frogs are my top 5. I like the pop bars, torpedoes, hula poppers, to name a few. Those are definitely great to have in your tackle box as well. I hope you all enjoyed this video and hopefully you learned something. These are my top 5 bass lures. Y'all have a nice day and fish on.